This is the gel coat which I've mixed up over here. I'm using Epoxycoat Red from Smooth-On. This is a Smooth-On product. Very, very nice gel coat to work with. Very easy to apply. Quite thin. But I'm going to pigment it black. I've already made one mold, one half of the mold, and so I'm just putting some black pigment into this gel coat. I just like to color my different molds different colors so they're more easily identifiable. This is going to go like a dark brown color. It's going to be quite hard to overcome the red. I also like to lay up in dark molds. Makes it much easier to see when you're laying up. Now, the important thing, and this is something that a lot of people overlook. I think I just need a little bit more pigment. So I'm just going to put a little bit more pigment in here. Right. Get it a bit blacker. Now, one of the things that a lot of us overlook, and it's a particularly important thing when you're working with gel coats, it is very important to transfer your mix from one cup into a secondary cup. And if you look at this cup inside, I don't know how clear it'll come out on the video, but there's still a lot of red on the inside of this cup. Down the bottom over there, it's all nice and black and it looks good. But this just demonstrates to you that you actually end up with a lot of unmixed gel coat on the side of your cup. And if you take that with a brush and you put it onto your mold, it's quite possible that you're going to have failure in your actual gel coat layer. You're going to have some unmixed gel coat. So it is important, especially with gel coats, not so much with resins because they are much lower viscosity and tend to mix a little bit easier. But with these more goopy type materials, it is very important to actually transfer the mix to a second cup so that you're not going to be taking on your bristles of your brush any unmixed gel coat and putting it into your mold, onto your mold surface accidentally. So this is quite a nice little step and something that you guys should practice if you want to have good quality molds without any possibility of any unmixed gel coat getting up against your mold surface. Right, obviously once that's in there, then I've got my nice mix here. I'm going to turf this cup. Right, now we're actually ready to start applying the gel coat. I've only mixed 40 grams, so hopefully it's enough. We'll see. If I need more, I'll always mix more, but hopefully it's going to be enough. Now you always put two coats on. So the first coat is going to go on very, very thin. And the reason for two coats of gel coat is that it's one way of avoiding print through of your fibers through to the other side of your fabric, to the face of your gel coat. So it gives you two thin coats of gel coat as opposed to one thick coat of gel coat, and also avoid as much as possible to build up thick fillets in the corners. The gel coat itself is a filled resin system, very, very fine fillers in it, and it gives you a nice surface. This is basically what I'm doing, is making a mold or making a tool in which I will be able to lay up many elevators in the future. Now, if I have thick fillets in the corners, along these corners over here, especially not so much on these outer corners because they're not really going to make a difference, but in this type of corner over here, you don't want the gel coat to be brittle and break. So you need to put on a thin coat into the corners, and you come back later and we're going to put a coupling coat and some fillets in the corners using microfibers, which are structural filler. So you can see here I'm working and pulling this gel coat out as thin as I can get it onto the surface. This is just the one of two coats. There will be a second coat. And you'll see how nice and easily this epoxy coat, gel coat from Smooth On applies. It's very easy to apply it. Now you'll also notice I haven't got any ram wax, any PVA red release on the surface. This is just free Zyvax chemical release and ram wax. So I don't use PVA red releases. I find they are, especially with making molds, because of the thickness of the gel coat, it's quite difficult to get the gel coat down on top of PVA without the PVA peeling away. And you can see I'm sort of applying quite strong brush strokes because this is an epoxy gel coat. It is thicker and more sticky and goopy than polyester type gel coats, which are more liquidy. Now I just mixed enough. As you can see, I'm right down to the end of my cup, and my first coat of gel coat is in now, and I'll just go around checking that it's all over the place, evenly distributed, and we will come back later and apply a second coat of gel coat to the back of this one. Once this gets to the fingertip test, or that green stage, basically what we mean about fingertip test is when you touch the gel coat with your finger, the color doesn't come off on your finger, but it's still got this sort of sticky feel to it, so it hasn't fully cured, and it's just right for the second coat to go down. So we'll just go around and make sure that everything is perfect, and we'll carry on in the next video.